The J1 waiver procedure, the first step is we file this application with the state health department, and that takes generally about anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks or longer. It depends on the state. Then if the state Department of Health approves the application, then they'll send a recommendation to the Department of State. And then they'll take another 1 to 2 months. And then if they approve it, then the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service will review it, and that's another 1 to 2 months. So the J1 waiver process is about 4 to 7 months on average. And it's a 3-step process with 3 different government agencies. But if the state health department approves the application, then generally the Department of State and the USCIS will approve it. After all that's done, that's when we can actually file the H1B application. Another type of J1 waiver is the J1 Hardship Waiver. So if you have a physician who doesn't want to work in an underserved area or cannot work in an underserved area, if they're married to a U.S. citizen or have a U.S. citizen child, or they're married to a permanent resident and permanent resident child, they could qualify. But that in and of itself is not enough. They have to show exceptional hardship if they were separated from that qualifying relative. So some of those that we've got approved is in a situation where the child had a learning disability that couldn't be treated in their home country, or if they had to go back to a dangerous area of Pakistan, we got that approved. Those are some examples of J1 hardship waivers that we've had approved before, and give you an idea of whether or not they could perhaps qualify. Another option for the physician if they're on a J1 is to apply for an O1 visa. So let's say you have the H1B cap that's been met. You could look at the O1 visa, but it's a very narrow exception because you have to be at the very top of your field, basically superstar doctors. And this allows them to temporarily bypass the 2-year home residency requirement, and there's no cap, and there's no prevailing wage requirement, and it's issued in 3-year increments and then indefinitely in 1-year increments. And then the final strategy is permanent residency, and this is also after completing or filing for the H1. A lot of doctors look to the end goal of getting the green card. The most popular type of green card application is labor certification, and in that process, what we do is test the labor market, show that there's no qualified U.S. physicians. The first thing that we do is make sure that the physician is being paid the market wage rate. Then we do advertising to see if there's qualified physicians. That process usually takes 6 months to a year, and then after that, we file the employment-based I-140 petition, and then the green card application where we can file for work authorization and the travel document. Some other options to extending the H1B, because the H1B is only good for 6 years. So you may have someone come to you and they already have 4 years left and they want to extend their H1B. Well, if they start the green card process early, which I just described in the green card process, then they can extend their H1B beyond 6 years. So the way that they do that is if they have a perm or labor certification that's been pending for over a year, they can extend it. Or if you have an H1B visa that's good, it could be approved for 3 years if the I-140 is approved. And basically, those are steps in the green card process. So they need to start the green card process really 2 years before the 6 years expires, that to put them in the best position to take advantage of these options. The physician may also be able to extend their time by recapturing time that they've been outside of the United States. Anytime that they've been outside the United States, they may be able to recapture that time and extend their H1B. Another option for a green card, and you may have heard of this, is the national interest waiver. This is where the physician works 5 years in that designated shortage area, and then they can get a green card. So you may have someone who is in the J1 waiver program. They work there for 3 years. If they work for 2 more years, for a total of 5 years, they can get the green card that way. And then you can apply for permanent residency even before completing the 5 years, but they won't get the green card until the 5 years have ended. And if you have a physician who's married to a U.S. citizen, they can apply for a green card through marriage to the U.S. citizen. But if they're on the Conrad 30 waiver program, They cannot file for the green card until they've completed the 3 years.